to talk to you about important matters of the law. What law? Well, many of us, call it the Bible, sacred scriptures, But the law that Yeshua wanted us to know. There's Old Testament laws, there's New Testament laws, but see, I'm going to talk about what I believe our Master, our Messiah, has given to me in my spirit to share with you. See, because the Bible is filled with righteous law, the scriptures. One would think that it would be incorrect to say some laws are more important than others. Yahushua himself said that there are, in fact, laws that are more important than others. Where? Well, Matthew 23 and verse 22, it says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye tithe mint and anise, and come in and have left undone the weightier, the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faith." See, and our Messiah said, "But these ye ought to have done, and not to have left the other undone." See, that right there lets me know that there's a rank. See, Yeshua undoubtedly knows we can't follow the whole entire Bible the way he can. Why do you think he came down here to die for us? It's simply because we cannot do it. We couldn't get it done. He made reference to the more important matters of the law because these basically give us more of a summarized guideline to follow as his followers, Well, let's look at it. What is justice? Well, it's the quality of being just, impartial, or fair. It's very hard to find, even in our own judicial system. When you're dealing with man, that's very hard to find, because man is imperfect. Well, what is righteousness? Righteousness is the quality of conforming to law. Conforming to law. See? Conforming is you just become one with the law. What is mercy? Compassion or forbearance shown, now listen to this, especially to an offender or one subject to one's power. See, mercy is also a blessing that is an act of divine favor or compassion. That would describe what our Messiah did for us. Mercy is compassionate treatment of those in distress. Some synonyms of it is mercy, charity, clemency, grace, leniency. It means a disposition to show kindness or compassion. Mercy implies compassion that forbears punishing. Now listen, even when justice demands it. That describes you and me. We deserved death because we were in direct violation of Yahuwah's law. Forgive me because I'm so, I got to retrain myself. This is new to me, but I believe in my heart that we've been getting it wrong. I want to know our Creator's name, Yahuwah. But I believe that we need to pay attention to this. Mercy implies compassion that forbears punishing even when justice demands it. Getting this out of Webster's Dictionary, if you want to follow along. But the key word is even when justice demands it. Now, this is what I try to keep in consideration when I'm looking at my brothers or sisters and I see them falling short, I see them error. I have to remind myself that if anybody had the right to just directly just destroy me right then and there, it would be Yahuwah. Elohim, the mighty one, Yet, what did he do? He sent Yeshua. He sent him down, the Messiah, to save us. Now, who do we want to be like? We want to be like our Creator. We want to be like Yeshua. Am I correct? Hopefully you do. Okay, let's look at the last quality. What is faithfulness? It is steadfast in affection or allegiance. Synonyms are faithful, loyal, constant, staunch, steadfast, and resolute. Means firm in adherence to whatever one owes allegiance. See, faithfulness, I'd say that our Creator is more faithful to us than we are Him. Hallelujah. Because if He wasn't, wouldn't we be in trouble? But yet then again, we want to conform to these qualities because we want to be like our Messiah. In the 23rd chapter of the book of Matthew, Yahshua was disturbed by the Pharisees' ceremonial way of serving God. They were careful to obey the written law of Moses, yet they didn't display the characteristics of justice, faithfulness, and mercy that we just talked about. What good was their works if they didn't have these characteristics? It's basically what our Messiah is saying. Yahshua further summoned up his views with these two commandments. In Luke 10 and 27, he answered, love, it says in the King James, or it says in most Bibles, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, strength and mind. But I'm just going to inject the words I feel comfortable with. In Luke 10 and 27, he says, love Yahuwah with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind. And love your neighbor as you love yourself. See? Those are the two commandments that Yahushua gave when he was asked what was the important, because somebody had asked him what was the important law, what was the greatest of the commandments, Now, you could also find it again in Matthew 22 and 36. They had asked, teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? And Yahshua replied, love Yahuwah with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. But see, listen, in verse 40. It says, all the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. Now that sounds pretty important to me. See, don't let your walk resemble the scribes and Pharisees. Remember what the Messiah taught about these things. Yahuwah looks at things differently than we do. Always remember that. In Samuel 16 and 7, it says, but Yahuwah said to Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. See, Yahuwah does not look at things that man looks at. Man looks at the outward appearance, but Yahuwah looks at the heart. See? And Galatians 3, starting at verse 1, it says, you foolish Galatians, who has betwixt you? Before your very eyes, Yahshua, was clearly portrayed as crucified. I would like to learn just one thing from you. Did you receive the Spirit by observing the law or by believing in what you heard? Are you so foolish that after beginning with the Spirit, are you now trying to attain your goal by your own efforts? Have you suffered so much for nothing, if it really was for nothing? Does Yahuwah give you his Spirit and work miracles among you because you observe the law or because you believe what you've heard? Romans 10:8 says, but what does it say? The word is near you, it is in your mouth and in your heart. That is the word of faith we are proclaiming. That if you confess with your mouth, starting in Romans 10:8 it says, but what saith it? The word is nigh thee, in thy mouth, and in thy heart, that is, the word of faith that we preach. Because if thou shalt confess with thy mouth, Yahshua, as master, and shalt believe in thine heart that Elohim, who you know is God, but that, Elohim means mighty one, that Elohim raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Once again, that if you shall confess with thy mouth Yahushua as master, and shalt believe in thine heart that Elohim raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved.